In the theatre of human relationships, the role of a parent is one of profound responsibility, as I have come to learn from observing the behaviours of others and listening to them. I understand, intellectually at least, that it is a sacred duty to nurture, guide, and empower a child to flourish. To understand the grotesque distortion that is the narcissist's treatment of their scapegoated child, we first must cast light upon the hallmarks of a healthy parent-child dynamic. Only then can one fully appreciate the malignant artistry of the narcissist's cruelty, the precision with which they select and torment their scapegoat. A healthy parent is a gardener of the soul, perhaps, a phrase I've heard used by others, tending to their child with care, consistency, and unconditional love. They see their child as an individual, a unique being with their own thoughts, feelings, and potential. Their role is not to mould the child into a mirror of themselves, but to provide a safe space where the child can grow, explore, and become. They offer praise when deserved, constructive guidance when needed, and unwavering support through life's inevitable storms. Mistakes are met with understanding, not condemnation. Successes are celebrated without envy. A healthy parent listens, validates, and encourages, fostering a child's self-esteem and resilience. They discipline with fairness, not fury, and their love is a constant, not a currency to be earned or withheld. The parent does not view their child as an extension of themselves, but as a separate entity, deserving of respect and autonomy. They teach boundaries, model empathy, and provide a secure base from which the child can venture into the world. Even in moments of frustration, their actions are tempered by a commitment to the child's well-being as a consequence of their emotional empathy. They do not seek to dominate or diminish, but to uplift and empower. This is the standard, the benchmark against which the narcissist's parenting fails spectacularly. Enter the narcissist, a creature sometimes of grandiosity, sometimes of fabricated fragility, whose parenting is not an act of love but a performance of control. The narcissist parent does not see their child as an individual but as a tool, a prop, in their endless quest for validation, fuel, supremacy. Within their family dynamic, the narcissist often assigns roles to their children: the golden child, an extension of their own perceived perfection, and the scapegoat, a vessel for their rage and failures. The scapegoat is the child singled out for blame, criticism, and punishment, the one who bears the weight of the narcissist's distorted worldview. The scapegoat is not chosen at random. They are the child who, by their very nature, threatens the narcissist's control and facade. Perhaps they're sensitive, questioning, or independent, qualities that challenge the narcissist's need for absolute control. Perhaps they mirror traits the narcissist despises in themselves, or fails to reflect the idealized image that the narcissist demands, that they're not as physically attractive as the narcissist would require, as clever as the narcissist needs. Whatever the reason, the scapegoat becomes the lightning rod for the narcissist's malcontent, a canvas upon which they paint their venomous projections. Let us look at some instances of the scapegoating behavior and how it manifests. 1. Unrelenting criticism and blame. The narcissist parent targets the scapegoat with a barrage of criticism, often disproportionate to the child's actions. A spilled glass of milk becomes evidence of the child's carelessness or stupidity. A poor grade is not a moment for guidance, but a public shaming, with the narcissist proclaiming, "You're always," note the use of always, "such a disappointment." The scapegoat is blamed for family discord, even when the narcissist's own behavior is the root cause. For instance, during a family argument, the narcissist may declare, "If you weren't so difficult, we wouldn't be fighting," shifting responsibility onto the child while absolving themselves. 2. Denial of reality. The narcissist manipulates the scapegoat's perception of reality, making them question their own thoughts and feelings. If the child expresses hurt over being ignored or belittled, the narcissist responds with, "You're too sensitive," or "That never happened, you're making it up." This gaslighting leaves the scapegoat doubting their own sanity, an instinctive tactic of the narcissist to keep them disoriented and dependent. For example, if the scapegoat recalls a promise the narcissist made, say to attend their school play, and the narcissist failed to show, they might retort, I never said I'd come. You must have imagined it. 3. Favoritism and triangulation. The narcissist pits siblings against each other, elevating the golden child while denigrating the scapegoat. The golden child is showered with praise, gifts, and leniency, while the scapegoat is held to impossible standards. If the golden child excels, the narcissist uses it to shame the scapegoat. Why can't you be more like your sister? If the scapegoat achieves something noteworthy, the narcissist downplays it or attributes it to luck, while the golden child's smallest accomplishments are celebrated. This triangulation fosters resentment and division, ensuring the scapegoat feels isolated and unworthy. 4. Emotional neglect and withholding affection. The narcissist parent withholds love, approval, and attention from the scapegoat, using affection as a weapon. They may ignore the child's emotional needs, dismissing their fears or sadness as weakness. For example, if the scapegoat is upset after being bullied at school, the narcissist might sneer, "Stop crying, you're embarrassing yourself." This neglect is not simply passive, it is part of the way that the narcissist instinctively behaves, designed to make the scapegoat crave the narcissist's approval, which is rarely, if ever, granted. 5. Public humiliation. The narcissist thrives on control, and humiliating the scapegoat in front of others is a favoured tactic. At family gatherings, they might recount the scapegoat's failures with exaggerated disdain, inviting others to join in the mockery. For example, "Oh, here comes our little klutz, always messing things up," while laughing at the child's expense. This public shaming reinforces the scapegoat's role as the family's problem, cementing their isolation. 6. Projection of flaws. The narcissist projects their own insecurities, failures, and shame onto the scapegoat. If the narcissist feels inadequate, they label the scapegoat as useless or a burden. If they are envious of the child's potential, they sabotage their efforts, ensuring the child never outshines them. For example, if the scapegoat shows talent in music, the narcissist might refuse to pay for lessons, claiming, "You're not good enough to bother with that." To understand why the narcissist scapegoats their child, one must look into the psyche of the narcissist. The narcissist's world is one of black and white absolutes. They must be perfect, admired, and in control, or they are nothing. The scapegoat, then, is not just a child, but a threat, a mirror, and a tool all at once. The narcissist craves fuel, the emotional reactions that validate the existence of the narcissist. Positive fuel comes from adoration, praise, and compliance. Negative fuel comes from fear, pain, and submission. The scapegoat's role is to provide a steady stream of negative fuel, deliciously potent through their distress, confusion, and attempts to please the unpleasable. When the scapegoat cries, argues, or withdraws, the narcissist feels powerful, their control reaffirmed. Scapegoating is instinctively done to harvest fuel. Projection of the false self-shadow. The narcissist's grandiose self-image is, in fact, a lie, a construct that cannot withstand sustained scrutiny. Deep within there is inadequacy and emotions that they are unable to acknowledge without risking psychological collapse. The scapegoat becomes the dumping ground for these unwanted feelings. By labeling the child as worthless or difficult, the narcissist externalizes their own flaws, preserving their illusion of perfection. The child's suffering is collateral damage in this act of self-preservation, for the narcissist, of course, has no emotional empathy for them. Control and dominance. As you know, the narcissist's need for control is absolute. A child who questions, rebels, or shines too brightly threatens this control, making them a prime candidate for scapegoating. By breaking the child's spirit through criticism, blame, and neglect, the narcissist ensures they remain subservient, unable to challenge the narcissist's authority. The scapegoat's role is to absorb the narcissist's rage and insecurity, keeping the family dynamic under their command. Envy and competition. The narcissist is pathologically envious, unable to tolerate anyone who might outshine them, even their own child. A scapegoat who shows intelligence, talent, or independence becomes a target for the narcissist's envy. They sabotage the child's achievements, diminish their worth, and ensure they never surpass the narcissist's perceived greatness. The scapegoat's potential is a huge threat to the narcissist's need for control, and the narcissist will stop at nothing to keep it in check. Maintaining the family narrative. The narcissist constructs a family narrative in which they are the flawless hero. The golden child is their perfect reflection, and the scapegoat is the flawed antagonist. This narrative serves to deflect blame from the narcissist and maintain their facade of superiority. The scapegoat's role is to be the problem, the one who causes the family's dysfunction, allowing the narcissist to avoid accountability for their own destructive behaviour. Punishment for seeing the truth. The scapegoat is often the child who sees through the narcissist's facade or veneer, who questions their lies or refuses to conform to their demands. This makes them dangerous, a threat to the narcissist's constructed reality. Scapegoating is a form of punishment for this perceived betrayal, a way to silence the child and ensure they never expose the narcissist's true nature. The more the child resists, the harsher the scapegoating becomes, as the narcissist seeks to crush their defiance. The scapegoat emerges from this crucible wounded but not broken. They may struggle with low self-esteem, self-doubt, and a pervasive sense of unworthiness, the scars of years of blame and neglect. And yet, they are often the most resilient, the ones who, through their suffering, develop a keen awareness of the narcissist's tactics. They may break free, seeking therapy, setting boundaries, or going no contact. But the journey is arduous. The narcissist's cruelty, by identifying this child as a scapegoat and treating them as such, leaves a mark. But it can also forge strength, for the scapegoat learns to survive in the shadow of a predator. The narcissist parent's scapegoating is not a flaw, but simply a feature of the disordered psyche. It is an instinctive act of control, projection, and self-preservation designed to maintain the construct at the expense of their child's well-being, for they have no emotional empathy for that child. The healthy parent nurtures, the narcissist destroys. The healthy parent empowers, the narcissist enslaves. The scapegoat is not just a victim, but a mirror reflecting the narcissist's deepest fears and failures, a mirror they cannot bear to face. In their torment lies the narcissist's truth. They are not gods but hollow shells, feeding on the pain of those they claim to love. And yet, in the scapegoat's resilience lies the ability to break free from the narcissist's chains and reclaim the self that was stolen.